Hey y'all, let's do a reading, shall we? I'm using this new deck, Voodoo deck. It was created by the same artist who did the Santa Muerte deck, so it's pretty cool. This is the first online reading that I've done with it. We're going to do a little love reading. Just kind of opening it up to the universe. What does she want to tell us? This is a new deck, so not a lot has been said. Okay, bottom of the deck, the horse, which is a new expression in the tarot. It's not replacing anything. It's just a new card. For those of you who are paying attention, we have the Mambo of Swords, which is the Queen. We have the Tower, the Moon, and the Queen of Pentacles. What in the world are you getting into? What in the world am I getting into, right? Yeah, maybe we should wait a little. Whoa. Maybe we should wait a little while to pull these, or maybe not. Why not? We're going to use the Santa Muerte deck to clarify. There's a lot going on with this person, whoever it is. I'm not going to candy coat it. I'm exasperated and I'm tired. And this isn't, it's like, come on. I feel like there's a bit of this, there's a bit of thievery in this energy. Stealing time, or I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't even know if I'll put this up on the channel because I do not like this energy. I do not like what it might be out there. I do not like Sometimes we kind of have to push through things that we don't like. Queen of Swords is the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. Six of Cups. Queen of Swords. The Chariot. If this is a love reading, whoever is coming towards you is coming in with both of these Queen of Swords together is this overconfidence, right? And yeah, sometimes it's just a feedback loop, but you get enough of a feedback loop, it doubles back on itself. And there we are with the sort of exaggerated version, right, of the Queen of Swords. coming in, soulmate coming in with this overdeveloped sense of not just confidence, but this overdeveloped sense of righteousness. It's almost like, you know, when you have an argument with someone and then a day or a couple hours later after the argument, you realize where you could have made a really good point. You realize how you could have been more, if you would have just said just the right thing, you would have won that argument. It's a bit of that. It's a bit of their coming into either tell you, show you, or physically give you something that they think is going to make them win the argument, make them either win you back or make them not the bad guy anymore. But they're coming. If you want to hear that, if you want to hear that from me, they're coming. Usually, sometimes, not usually, but sometimes I have to pull stuff out of the cards, like out of the universe, like pulling teeth. Today, the universe has to pull teeth out of me. It's come on now. The Tower. Why is the Tower here? For goodness sakes. I don't think that this person has had a true Tower moment. Maybe they have, but it's been, if they have, God damn it. If they have, it's almost like it's performative. Like they've been watching tarot, or like they have gone through just enough therapy to know, or they've read on a sign on a bathroom wall that, you know, at your lowest point, you got to hit rock bottom before you can climb your way up. Oh, so that's their Tower moment. And they're like, man, I've really hit rock bottom. You're right. Blah, 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 blah. No. That's going to be my 2025 slogan. Blah, 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 blah. No. No doubt. Stuff's coming. All right. Why is the Tower here? This child reminds me more of them than anything else. This child is them. Sometimes, like with this reading, there are things about themselves that they've sort of refused to learn, or that they've denied the experience of. And so this authentic self that they've kept under wraps. All right, we have one on the floor. And I'm going to go ahead and take that one. It's the Hermit. Sometimes we get confused too. Sometimes we hermit ourselves away, and in that isolation we feel a lot of things, and we think a lot of things, and we experience and falsely assume that is our dark night of the soul. And so, nope, no, not really, no. Okay, 5 of Cups. I guess these are just going to fly out to me because she's not putting them in order. When you block shuffle like this, that's sometimes what happens. 9 of Cups, but also the 9 of Wands, and also the 5 of Swords. think there's a certain amount of conflict, inner conflict. They feel pulled apart, and they don't realize that it takes the sum of all of their parts coming together to feel well again. That means they can't promise themselves to too many things. They can't pull themselves in too many directions, whether it's family and work and whatever and friends and whatever. There's too many fives here. There's 5 of swords. We've got the 5 of cups. Bringing those elements of our lives together and finding a way to integrate them may seem difficult, but often it's when we are cloistering them off from each other, categorizing them away from each other. So, for example, maybe you could involve family in some of the work that you do, or maybe you could involve your romantic relationships with the family, or maybe you could involve your work relationships with your romantic relationships. Maybe your gym life could also include family life or romantic partners. There's this disconnect with this person that's just such garbage. And it really, I'm sorry if this is your person, because man, I don't know if they're ever going to get it. They've got these distinct areas of their lives, and they don't want to give any of them up, and yet they don't want to combine them. And then they add new things, and so they can't separate that either. So it's the kind of thing that's like, if you're studying for a class or for a test or something, study time is study time. So even though it would do you a world of good to be in someone else's presence, just energetically, and to study with that person or write with that person, this person cannot stand that. They need to be alone in a closed room, studying or taking the test or whatever it is. They're very sort of closed off, even though they think they're not. They really don't think they are. They think they're a very open person. They're open in doses, okay? Very small doses. And the longer you know them, the smaller the doses you get. Does that make sense? Oh, Jesus. Where's the moon in all this? This is the one that most speaks to me of the Queen of Pentacles is more your energy, I think, than anything. Oh, God, they're spitting out on me again. Okay, the moon is here because of the 2 of Cups, of course. And yes, the moon, the shadow, the things that aren't said. But also there is, in this card and in this rendition of this moon, there's this childishness, and there is an immaturity here. Not an innocence, an immaturity. I'm just going to give you, I don't want you to use this against them. Please do not weaponize this. For the love of God, do not weaponize this. But I want you to just, if you know this person or as you get to know this person, you think about the real true possibility of an arrested development. Think about when these traumatic events in their lives happened. We all have them. So think about the traumatic event in their life, whether it might be something they have not told you, that's for sure. And don't get too Spanish Inquisition-y on them, but whether it was an act of violence, an act of fear based on violence that they saw, a divorce, a separation, even a first heartbreak, whatever trauma it was. I think a lot of these people, your people, are stuck. So, let's say their parents got divorced when they were 13. They're stuck at this emotional maturity level of a 13-year-old who's going through their parents' divorce still. And it could be 30, 40 years later. Yeah. If this is resonating, I'm just saying it'll help you have more compassion for them as they do stupid things. But it might also, if you have emotional intelligence, it might help you help them, right? Just start to recognize the behaviors that they have that don't seem quite right, maybe a little bit immature even, and then realize, oh yeah, they saw that act of violence when they were 9 years old. This makes sense. Or, and I'm not, please, for God's sakes, do not tell them about it and do not weaponize it. But it'll help you have compassion. Oh God, okay, why is the moon here? Now that I've done with that, can you let me draw the cards, universe? I'm not in customer service. This is not fucking customer service, okay? Either you want to know this or you don't. And I think if you go to the tarot readers, and that's fine, I don't care. But if you go to the tarot readers that are like, oh, everything is wonderful and you're going to meet someone, a big, strong man or woman, and they're going to be the light of your life and you're going to have so much fun, and they might be a water sign and like shit like that. Like if that's what you want customer service. Okay? That you want customer service. You don't want a connection with the spiritual. You don't want, I'm not saying I'm a priest, but if you could just get it, you don't want a priest, you want a customer service manager, period. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're watching tarot, right? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It's the Page of Wands. Because it is really ridiculous if you think about it. Yes, it's true, but it's also crazy, right? Just like half of the shit we do, think, or say. It is ridiculous. Love is ridiculous. You trust somebody implicitly that you kind of barely know. People fall in love at the third, fourth, fifth date. First date even. You don't even know them. And all of a sudden, you're putting the trust of your heart and soul, your spirit, with them. It's bananas, right? It's crazy. You love something that you know is, if you have a pet, you love something that you know is going to leave you. And you put so much love into them, and you get so much love back, and you know that's going to end sometime, and we do it anyway. It's crazy. So, yes, this is crazy. What do you want me to do? Either you want to know this or you don't. If you don't, you're not watching it. If you do, great. Hi. 9 of Swords. 7 of Pentacles. Jesus. 4 of Cups. They are literally counting the days down to when they won't feel pain anymore. This ding dong, bless their hearts. There's a lot of self-sabotage. There is a lot of self-sabotage. But the righteousness that I'm getting over here is because the self-sabotage is in the name of something. You could have been with this person before. You could have been married to this person. You could have been with this person for years. You could have been with this person decades ago. You could have not met this person yet. But the entire time, they've been energetically attached to you and yet pushing you away physically because of this self-sabotage. But they're doing it for an end result that's different and better and down the line. They're counting the days till they get there. They're whatever that big goal is, whether they're refusing you because they're career focused, whether they're refusing you because and thoughts of getting together with you because of family dynamics, or maybe even they're married already, or they were maybe they're not outed yet, and so they're deeply in love with you, but they can't come forward to you. That is absolutely righteous. Chest pounding, fist bumping, righteous. It's almost, and I hate this, but it's almost to the point of a spiritual practice. I'm going to deny myself this love period because it's the only way that I can advance XYZ, get to where I want to go. And the sad part, if that were true, great. But the sad part is it's absolute bullshit. And the truth is, if they came forward to you, they could accelerate their success. They could accelerate their development. They could go faster towards their goal, and with more authenticity and with more righteousness in the long run, right? Because they're doing the right thing, because they have a partner who just energetically pushes them forward toward their goal. I mean, there's nothing you can do. So let's pull on you. Let's pull on you, shall we? Queen of Pentacles. I feel like that I'm pulling on these energies a lot, you know, and so there's a lot of these energies out there right now, especially, and you have to kind of also give them compassion for not only the state of emotional development that they're atrophied in, but you have to give them compassion for the just pure ignorance of it all, really. And sometimes when we get prideful, but we're just smart enough to know we're dumb, we can kind of run things in bad directions fast out of pride. And so, you know, have a little compassion for them. If they've turned the opposite direction and you're like, whoa, here I caught up with somebody, or I heard rumors of this thing happening to this person, and it's not at all what I thought they would do or how I thought they would be. Yeah, that's okay, because it's probably not where the universe wanted them to be either. Free will is something else, man. You can free will your way out of happiness so easily. You can free will your way. You can free will your way into a totally different circumstance than your destiny. It happens all the time, literally. You guys know that. Everywhere around you are people living their destiny. It's often like, it's kind of weird how you would expect people to be living their destiny, their density. Their destiny would be sort of the middle of the road people. Like there's this big chunk of polarities that aren't, and then on the bottom end there's this big chunk of polarities that aren't. But it's the folks in the middle who are the most at risk for not being true to their destiny. the real top examples of celebrity and wealth and fame, whether they're talking to negative energies or positive energies, they're fulfilling a destiny. Hell yeah. And it's often then on the other end of the spectrum, the really quiet, totally unreserved folks with 2 or 3 people at their funeral, those types that are living their destiny as well. It's the middle of the road types. Most of everybody. Am I living my destiny? That's a good question. If that's what you're asking. Figure it out. We'll find out, huh? Queen of Pentacles. Now that I've said what I needed to say, let's go ahead and pull this card for me. Those bananas are something else, huh? I forgot to get pineapple at the store today. All right, so these are the 2 that kind of had me. The 3 of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Go find yourself a mentor. Go find yourself a therapist. Go find yourself a community. You have these really good ideas. You need to stop worrying about this energy here. Stop worrying about this energy here. You've got a strong community if you would just accept it, embrace it, and capitalize on it. You've got a strong community that can get you exactly what you want, exactly where you want to go. This might not have anything to do with you. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with you per se, other than you've really shook this person up a lot. But you need to separate. Separate. I'm going to separate you physically. You need to separate. Your connection with other people is a lot more powerful than you think it is. And you have a lot of really good ideas. You put those 2 together and you have amazing opportunities all the way around. Business, work, love. You can have dynamic changes this year. The Magician, the Emperor, and the King of Cups. Dynamic changes. You can be in control of your own destiny. See what this is? Be in control of your own destiny. Do you need to be weighted down by this energy? No. Do you have compassion for this energy? If this energy comes in and wants to talk, like we've got here, comes in and wants to talk, yeah. If they have this righteous indignation, like they're fixing everything by something they realized and they decided to suddenly bring to your attention, or I mean, there are some of you whose person honestly will get the bright idea that if they just meet with you and you have a really good sex connection, you know, if they just really pound one out on you, it'll solve everything. There are some of you whose person, that's as deep as it goes. There are some of you whose person is just, they have this really great idea. They think they know, they think they're playing a little bit of a psychologist now, and they think that they know what will solve this problem, and they just need to say this one thing to you, and it's pretty much gonna clear everything up. It's gonna clear everything up if they just tell you this one thing. And they got to tell you this one thing, whether it's to apologize or explain something, could even be a lie, but they just got to tell you this one thing. In here, in your beautiful, powerful, self-reliant, exalted new position of grace and creating your own destiny that is full of love and compassion and ideas and connection and people and community and mentorship. Don't let this fuck you up. Okay? Don't let it fuck you up. If you let this fuck you up, then it's back to what we were talking about before, about this free will. If you've grown beyond this, you've grown beyond it. And if you want to be sad about it, be sad. But express that. You know, cry it out, write poetry, whatever you need to do. If you came here to this channel or to tarot to look for a person and this resonates with you and you recognize this, the arrested development, the self-sabotage, the internal struggle, listen, babe, you don't need that. You're going to do much, much better, whether it's on your own or whether you meet a King of Cups. You could meet a King of Cups. If by some miracle that this person, this soulmate comes through, has a real tower moment, addresses this thing before they get to their goals. Because once they get to their goals, little inside secret, spoiler alert, once they get to their goals, guess what? They won't be fulfilled. I mean, they won't feel fulfilled. You know that. Because they skipped everything to get to a thing, and they missed the whole process. Anyway, if they do come through this, they will meet you wherever, years, months, lifetimes from now. Don't you worry about it. You know, what was yours is never, ever lost. So if this connection is part of the universal order of things, then it's always there and it'll be there. So if it was yours, it won't ever truly be lost and it'll come back. But to deny yourself of the beauty and majesty of your own rise up, that's the true crime. So this is a test. Absolutely. This is a test. And I'll really, it is what it is. Because it seems like everybody comes to tarot for love readings. And I appreciate that because love is what, is the most important thing in the world. But love is the most important thing in the world. Compassion, love, understanding. Not one person. I love you. I do, but not one person is love, period. It's a lot easier to think and hope that it is, but it's not. You got so much more love over here and so much more potential over here. And I know I've said that a million times, so I'm going to let you go. But remember, readings don't come out of a vacuum. Every card reading since the beginning of tarot has been influenced by the reader as well as the time in which it's pulled. So that being said, full disclosure. Also, if this resonated with you, it doesn't matter whether it was a month from now, a week from now, today, a year from now. This is always happening. Good luck.